Paintball, and here we have Ryan, and today we're going to do our pod pack show. We're going to be explaining about good pod packs and pods and stuff in that general area.
First we got this, your basic pod pack, which probably costs around $9 to $20 at most. You can get many pod packs like these by Tipman, Rec, maybe even Empire. You can get these by many people. These pod packs are pretty basic. You'll see most like new players using these, or even rental players. The thing about these is most pod packs like these is they can hold a CO2 tank in the back here, so then you can have a remote line coil hose thing in the back.
The one thing I do not like about remote line is if you're trying to switch hands and you get wrapped up in the coil. I'm not sure if that's a problem to most people. It's happened to me a couple times, but to most people I'm not sure if it's too bad, but yeah. Anyways, let's take a step up from that. This is the pod pack I use. It's a Spider 5+4 pod pack, and most pod packs, I shouldn't say all, but most have like a 5+4 on it. A lot of people say, what does that +4 mean? As you can tell, there are 5 little holsters to hold pods. That's where the 5 comes from. The +4 is you have these little straps here, which are meant to hold additional paintballs. Not paintballs, but paintball pods. So they can fit in like this. So you can actually hold up to 9 because it's 5+4. So that's how this one is. This one, yeah, I haven't really gone around cleaning this one. These are some paintball stains and stuff from a couple weekends ago. This one's pretty good for the price. This one's about maybe $25, $30. But you get a total of 9 pods, just a basic little strap on front, which it does sag a little bit, but if you get it tight, it's really good. It won't sag very much. Very comfortable padding. You have this little compartment here to hold your keys and stuff, and easy Velcro with ejection. What it means by ejection is it's when you undo it, sometimes you can push your pod back a little bit more, so the elastic pushes the pod out a tiny bit, and that's what's called pod ejection. So basically, yes, this is what just like a medium range pod pack would be.
Now moving up to the pro level. This is the Planet Eclipse pod pack. These pod packs like these are made of much higher quality. It's made back here, so you get some nice friction on your back. Hold on, I'll show you. On the back here, it is made like this. It's all like frictiony, and so it won't slide as much on your back. And also fits more comfortable on a player's back. Pod packs like these happen to be nicely detailed, and also includes pod ejection, and have the same loops on these as the other Spider pod pack has, and has very amazing adjustment system, so you can fit on pretty much get the perfect fit for any paintball player, small and big.
It has 3 adjustments. Most pod packs of the high end have 3 adjustments as Ryan's putting it together. Pretty much, let's set this up, or like this. It's going to be, you have the basic adjustment, which is about your waist, like what it'd be, and these right here pretty much secure it. It's basically you put this over and this over. So basically you get the perfect fit for any paintball player, small or large. And now we'll be going on to pods. Alright, now we're going to explain some of our favorite pods and what most pods are.
Alright, coming up here is a 100-round pod. Is not what I would prefer. Maybe it's something a pump player would prefer, or someone who's really cheap or low budget would like.
Well, a lot of people don't realize is that when paintball first started in like the late 80s, early 90s, there were no 140-round pods or other special pods. The 100-round pod, they only had 100-round pods. Basically, this is the way to go back then. But nowadays, the most common pod is the 140.
Basic $2 pod.
Basic, these run around $2-ish. And they work great, hold 140 paintballs.
The thing about a pod that like these is they will break pretty easily if they take a shot to the top, and will like this whole section on the top can get blown off if hit right, like a big chip, and then paintballs can slide out and causing you to lose paint, and so you can not shoot people as much.
And then there's a bunch of different types of pod. There's a GI Missile indestructible pod, which is a 140 round pod, which is pretty much indestructible. Like you can like throw it to the ground and stuff, and it won't break. So, from what I've seen on videos, I have not experienced it myself, but it seems indestructible. So that's good. And probably my favorite pod is the Proto Alpha pod. What I like about this is sometimes on the 140 round pods, when you try to open it, there's like this little tab, and sometimes it's a tiny bit hard to open. This, so easy to open, and it holds 150 paintballs, and it's so easy to open. Another one that a lot of people use is the die lock lids, which, as you know, die is the upper branch of Proto. So basically, the die lock lid holds 160 rounds and has a button which opens the lid to go in. It's an ingenious design. The only thing I do not like about it is the sides are actually rigid, and what you want to look for in a pod is it to be almost smooth, like so you can have a nice exit on it to get out. So basically, that's how that one works.
Alright, well, the thing about the 140 round pods is if they get shot around this top area, there's a good chance they may break. I've gotten shot right here, and then a big chunk from about here to here would be missing, and then paintballs would fall straight out, and then I'd be losing paintballs, and I'd lose money basically, and have less fun, and then kind of annoying.
Yes, the GI Muslim or GI Sports makes a indestructible pod, 140 round pod, which so far seems pretty indestructible. So if you don't want something like that to happen, you might want to look into that. My absolute favorite pod is the Proto Alpha pod. It holds 150 paintballs. They only come in the smoke color, but it's so easy to get this open. It's not like a die lock lid that has a button, but it's just so easy to get this open. And holds 150 paintballs, a little bit more than the 140 round, but it works great from what I've seen. But also they have the die lock lids, which is we don't have one at the moment, but which is pretty much a pod like the Proto Alpha, only it has a button at the top, so you press the button and like the lid opens by itself, and you can pour the paint straight into your thing. It's an ingenious design. The only bad part is the sides are rigid. Like it has a bunch of bumps on it. What you want in a pod is super smooth, so when the pod's exiting, it won't catch on anything, or it's a super smooth exit to get your pod out, and super fast and super smooth. With the die lock lid, it's going to be real rigid and a hard time to get that pod out. If die can make that fix with the die lock lid could be probably the best pod on the market. Well, this has been our paintball and pod pack show, but right before we go, I want to explain to you about the paintball caddy. We each own one, and they're probably the greatest invention ever made. If you're ever at the field and you're trying to pour paint in your pod by like grasping the bag around this, and you're trying to fill it in, and then you spill everywhere.
Big pain.
It's a big pain. Just take this off, fill it up, you have a full pod.
And probably just saved yourself a couple minutes per
Yeah.
pod.
Even if you don't spill, like you're that one person who says, yeah, I've never spilled paint in my life, that only took a couple seconds and holds a little over 1,000 rounds, basically 2 bags. And it's a huge time saver.
One of the nice things about the caddy is you can also carry this around with you all day, and then right while you're on the game, just set off on the sidelines. Like if our park has a spot where everyone can set their equipment they're not using. If you are to do something like that, I'd recommend putting your name on it, some way to indicate it's yours. This paintball caddy doesn't just come in the flashy red. It can come in other colors like red, clear, smoky. I'm not too sure on what all the colors are, but you can probably just look it up on your basic paintball website.
Yes, these are a great invention, and we didn't want to disclude this in our Paintball Pod and Pod Pack show. Well, this is Jack from Katana Paintball and Ryan, and thank you very much for watching, and you all have a good day.